What's up, everybody? Mike here with TrailSeven. Today I'm bringing you TrailSeven's plug-and-play Alpine Status speaker bundle for your Bronco. Yes, that's a mouthful. What we have here is the full speaker bundle that we put together. We launched this a little while back, but want to show you a detailed installation, as there are a couple things that are different than just a regular speaker install, mainly with these front stage component speakers. So this comes with a two-way crossover box here. So this is what comes with it. This has an adjustable dB notch inside here. Just so you know, when we set this, we set it down to -3, just so it's not so bright on the dash. However, if you want more brightness, then you can adjust this on your own. That's the only adjustment that you need to make on your side. It comes completely wired and prepped from us, just like I said with that dB on the negative side. For the top dash speaker, this is gonna come in this bracket that mounts on the top dash. For the lower subwoofer speaker, for the 6.5, we're gonna put this in this sound baffle. It's gonna make it sound better, perform better in that Bronco foot area there. We're gonna put the bracket on here. All you need to do is screw this in. It's very easy. Moving on to the coax set that goes in the rear pods. We're gonna provide the rear pods. These pods are gonna come with some sound deadening material. You'll just need to apply the sound deadening to the inside of the pod here. Put the polyfill inside the pod. Again, that'll help the speaker to perform better inside this pod, and then mount the speaker in the pod there. So that's everything that comes with the plug-and-play Alpine Status speaker bundle for your Bronco. Just so you know, this is compatible with the Broncos non-B&O or the Broncos B&O. This is definitely going to be a speaker set that you're going to want to pair up with an amplifier. Most likely you're going to want to pair that up with the V90 Alpine Status amp or one of the other status amplifiers, which we have a couple of bundle options for you. Another thing to name here is we have a couple of very basic tools, which we'll list here for you. And now we're ready to show you how easy this is to install in the Bronco. So let's get it on. All right, we're ready to go ahead and start installing the speakers, but before we show you that, we're gonna show you the disassembly from another video, the speaker disassembly. It's solely just to show you how to remove all the parts and pieces, get your factory speakers out of there to get you to the point that we're at right now. So we're gonna post that link down below. And after you watch that, you'll come back to where we're at here. So let's go ahead and get started with this front stage component speaker install, the Alpine Status front stage component speaker install. So like I said on the table over there, this two-way crossover box is going to come prepared. It's going to come with the wires already attached to it. What you're going to want to do is get yourself two long zip ties, put them together. And this cover here, you slide it down and you can remove it. So you're going to want to prep this by putting a piece of zip tie, or the two zip ties, just around there. Don't zip tie them yet. Where this is going to mount up underneath the glove box, there's a post there. There's a bracket, a metal post. This is going to mount on top of that, and then you're going to zip tie it down. So you're just going to want to run this zip tie across the front there, and then put this lid back on. And as long as that's prepared for you, then once you mount it, you'll just zip it around that little bracket post up there, which I'll show you in a second. All right, so that's prepared for the install. You're going to need a Phillips head or a flathead screwdriver to connect the wires, which are these fork connectors, to the tweeter. The back of the tweeter has these little terminals. And then for the 6.5-inch woofer, I just flipped the rubber gasket back, the baffling, so you can see where the connections are. They're right on top of here. There's these blade connectors up top here. There's a larger one and a smaller one. The spade connectors will match larger and smaller for the positive and negative. So this one connects using the flat blade connectors. The tweeter connects using the fork connectors, and those will all come connected to the crossover box. The last connection, the last wire from the two-way crossover is going to be this factory connector, which is going to attach to the factory OEM spot there. All right, now we're going to go ahead and start with mounting the two-way crossover up inside the glove box like I mentioned. So we're going to go ahead and mount the crossover box here above this post, above this bracket. I'm going to go from this way. it's just going to zip tie down to the top of this. There you go, that's zip tied in there. The cables are hanging off to the right side. We'll just cut this little tail off of here. And now we're ready to connect the cables to their correct speaker. Just so you know, the length of this wire, it's so long, it's intentional. In case you don't want to mount the crossover box, we'll redid it above the glove box. We left plenty of length on here so you can mount it somewhere else in case you wanted to mount it underneath the seats or any other location. So there's plenty of length in this wiring here, so you don't have to stick to our install location. You can choose any place that best fits your build. So these two wires are the ones we're going to connect. I'm going to feed them into the area here. These two, simple, connect right in. We'll manage all the cabling afterwards. This one here, with these two spade connectors on it, these are going to route underneath where the speaker sets. So there's a hole underneath here. We've got some sound deadening in here, which we can offer as an add-on as well if you're interested in putting some sound deadening. So I'm just peeling our piece of sound deadening back here, but underneath this factory spot is an alleyway, is a channel for you to put your wire through. So we're gonna go with this wire here, we're gonna go in through here and come out, and then we're gonna connect that to the speaker. So go in through here. And now you can connect these to the speaker. There's a wider one and a narrower one. They're just gonna match up with the speaker. That's the positive and the negative. The negative is the narrower one, the positive is the wider one. That's up here in the speaker. So this one here is the narrower one, this is the wider one. And there you go, just like that. Right, now we can flip this rubber baffling back over. We just pushed it down so we could access the terminals there. This is going to mount inside the spot. Before we do that though, we do provide a little piece of sound deadening that'll mount inside the hole here. So we're going to go get that piece, mount that inside the hole, and then mount the speaker inside. So this is going to be provided. This mounts behind the speaker. So once this speaker sits in there, it's going to set just like that. So you're going to peel this off. Try to get that right about center in the hole. So now when the speaker sets in there, it's going to set right up against that. I'm just going to line up with the factory holes. Pull that little ring out now. It's a nice snug fit. We can use the factory screws to put that back. Now there's the screw hole back here. It's really hard to see, obviously. So you're just gonna go more by feel. And of course with this rubber baffling on here, it's a little difficult to get to, but it is certainly worth it. So just feel it's right around here. It's helpful just to do it by hand first. And finish the rest. Now I can go through the rest of them, tighten the other two. Once that's in there, you want to peel this or fold this back so that way the grill fits back over there, or the trim piece fits back over there, and that'll fit right up against it. These two wires are connected. We'll manage these cablings. We'll zip tie them back up into here, just tuck them away back in there. Now let's go ahead and route the the fork connectors up through the glove box area up to the top dash, so we can connect these to the dash tweeter. All right, we're just gonna feed this wire right up to the right side of the box where you mounted on that bracket there, which is pretty much right behind the air vent. You can stick your hand up in here and you can put your hand inside the dash speaker area and you can just touch your fingers there. So you can just really push that speaker wire right up. Now that it's up through the dash, we're going to go ahead and connect the speaker. So speaker wires, blue and black, they may come yellow and black, red and black, but the black is going to be your negative. The other color is going to be your positive in 99% of the circumstances with the wiring. So in this case here, blue and black, black is your negative, blue is your positive. The back of the status speaker has these terminal blocks, these terminal ports here. They're labeled positive and negative. So you're just going to connect the fork underneath the little plate there, tighten it down. Same thing on the negative side. We go negative first. Phillips head screwdriver. Now go on the positive. Phillips head. Now this can be set into place and screwed down. Now the dash tweeter's in and so is the lower kick panel, so now we can just go back below and manage the wiring. We're just going to zip tie that up, tuck it away, put the glove box back, put the trim panel back, and we'll be done with the passenger side. All right, the wire is just tucked away right here. I mean, if you want to find a different spot to zip tie it to, cool. We're just going to tuck it right there. Glove box will go back in, and we'll put the trim panel piece on just as we did the opposite of taking it off. All right, we're here on the driver's side seat. We're going to drop this panel underneath the steering wheel column and just pull down on both sides, and this will drop this panel down. Underneath here, there's a metal bracket and that metal piece. You need an 8mm socket to remove that, and that is where we're going to mount the crossover module right on the back of that. So let's go ahead and get this panel down. This piece here, the crossover is going to mount on the back side of this. These are two 8mm bolts. It's going to mount just like this to where these wires are facing down, because this is going to set just in here like this. We're going to use 2 zip ties to strap this on. Feed your wiring through there so you can mount this here. This wire here with the forks on it, this is for the tweeter, remember? So this is going to go up to the dash. Since I already have this open and the plate isn't mounted yet, you're going to go ahead and feed this up. So you can just reach your hand up in here, and then you can stick your hand down below from the top part to find the pathway. Just touch your fingers. Once you find that, then just feed the wire up through that until you can touch your fingers. There. So literally just push that up and it came right out the top. So now we can go ahead and connect our dash speaker. It's the same as on the passenger side, positive and negative. The wiring that we have here, the negative is black, the positive is blue. There you go. Now we'll just set that in and screw it into place. Dash speaker mounted, put the grill back on here. There you go. Now we can finish up with the kick speaker. All right, now let's go ahead and get this bracket mounted, and then we can connect the lower kick speaker. All right, now on for the kick speaker. All right, same thing as on the passenger side. We're going to go ahead and connect the white connector on the speaker from the crossover to the factory connector here. And also the same, we're going to feed this wire through underneath here. We've put some sound deadening on here. Yours will have just like there's like a paper or foam piece on the factory. We've removed that, we put some sound deadening, so I'm just going to peel that back, but you'll see there's a hole right here, and this goes through the metal trim piece into the back. We're going to feed the wire through there so it comes out just like the same we did on the passenger side. All right, wires through. Let's go ahead and connect it to the speaker. Now you have to peel, you have to just push this boot back, and that'll expose the terminals there. That's where you're connecting to. So here's your negative and your positive, your narrower one and your thicker one. This is your smaller one here. It's a negative. And here's your wider one. This is your positive. And let's go ahead and get it mounted. Get all of them started and come back around. Yes, it is a tight fit with this rubber boot on here. Let's go ahead and put the bottom one in. And yes, they are definitely a tight fit with this boot on here, but it is worth it. And again, before you tighten them all down, let's put the last one on the back there on. This is the one that you're not going to be able to see, but it's right about here. This is just by feel. Now we can go ahead and tighten them all down. It's a pretty soft plastic bezel around there, so no need to tighten it down too tight, just make it snug. You can push this ring back in. So there you go, it's in. The wires are connected. Now same thing again as we did on the passenger side, we're just gonna zip tie these wires. We're gonna tuck them up underneath the steering wheel column here, zip tie them to a spot up in here, and that's it. We're gonna put the trim panel pieces back together, do the exact same thing as you did to take them off, but opposite, and that will wrap up the front stage speaker set installation. This I'll probably just stuff down there. There you go. Now it's just a matter of putting this trim panel piece back on, and we're done with the front stage component set install. All right, so the front speakers are done. Now we're going to move on to the back. So we have a video already showing how to install these pods. Now we are just, which I'll include in the description below. You'll get to this point with that video anyway. So now we're ready to install the Alpine status speakers into the rear pod. That is just by connecting this Now remember, this has the fill in here. This has the sound deadening mount in the back of the pod. This has the polyfill. You put the sound deadening in, you put the polyfill in here. This side is done, which is the passenger side. Same thing, move over to the driver's side. All right, there you go. Rear Alpine status speakers are installed in the pods. All right, everybody, TrailSeven's Alpine Status plug and play speaker bundle has been installed into the Bronco. Hope you saw how easy that was to install. Just to remember that these status speakers are meant to pair up with an amplifier, preferably one of the Alpine Status amps, either the 5-channel V90 or the 4-channel F60. Both bundles we have available for you. Both bundles are compatible with either the Bronco B&O system or the non-B&O system. So if you're interested in checking out some information about the Status speaker line and picking up a bundle for your Bronco today, please visit us at www.trailseven.com. Until next time, we'll see you out there.